Welcome to another episode of Watching WANDAVIsion.
Ooh, baby.
Episode 2, Watching WANDAVIsion,
Damn.
www.
Wait, Watching
what?
Wanda.
It's
kidding.
not. It's WWV? Watching WANDAVIsion?
Watching WandaVision, yeah.
Oh, welcome to...
but like I said, Watching Wanda's Wednesdays, you can do...
Yes.
Or Watching Wanda's Weeklies.
Yeah.
Watching Wanda Wednesdays Weekly. Whoa.
Whoa. Wow. How many W's can we do?
Wow. Whoa.
Welcome to Countdown to Infinity, an Avengers. Another W. An Avengers podcast. We talk all things Marvel Cinematic Universe, including the movies. And during the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about WandaVision in detail while we're watching WandaVision.
While watching
And you could expect this kind of alliteration.
Expect a lot of
W's. And
Okay.
no L's.
Okay.
We're not going to take any
Oh,
L's.
I get
You
it.
All W's. All
Ooh,
wins.
that was slick.
Undefeated.
Wow.
We did an episode on episode 1, which is out now, and
Yes.
this is on episode 2.
Oof. I'm already so much more excited.
I know.
The first step, I was still sad just because of like the whole context of it. Like I already knew what I was going into and stuff. But now this ep, I'm so excited about the creativity behind everything even more. Like it's just every ep has been getting better and better, and there's only 2 of them, and I'm already excited.
My name's Emmanuel.
My name is Sofia.
And we're
Twins.
WandaVision watchers. Okay. We again, the premiere of this series came with 2 episodes. We separated them so that later on, if you're watching them,
if you're watching Wanda with us,
if you're watching Wanda with us,
I'm so good at this. I'm so good.
Stop with the W thing. I don't know if anyone's impressed.
I don't need to impress anyone. I am impressing myself. This is great.
You can listen to her other podcast, Watching Wow Wow Wubsy.
Yeah.
Which is Watching Wow Wow Wubsy.
I forgot about that.
4
wow, wow,
W's.
wubsy, wow, wow.
Okay. But in case you are watching this later on, you can start with episode 1, and this is on episode 2, even though a lot of you probably just watched them in order, back to back, like we did, kind of.
Yeah, we kind of did. Well, I'm just ready to watch all of them. So.
Now we need the third one.
Yeah. Come on, Marvel, hurry up.
Well, this is, again, goes into the style of different television shows. This one is different than the first one, even.
Okay, so we mentioned this while watching it. Is the first one set in the 50s then, and the second one in the 60s?
Yeah, I think so. The 50s.
Okay. Because I think last step we said it was in the 60s. My bad.
No, I think there's kind of overlap because the first step reminded me of I Love Lucy, the title, the banter between the two of them, live studio audience in a studio.
Yeah.
That's a 50s, 60s things. This one is a lot more like
60s, 70s?
Which is like Bewitched, 60s, 70s.
Okay.
Bewitched starts with a cartoon. I don't know if you've seen...
of course, yeah.
There's also the Will Ferrell... Nicole Kidman version.
Yeah.
But that was really special, and that is a lot of animation, a really fun opening title, and then, of course, a lot of magic.
Yeah, I was thinking of, what is that sitcom? The Nanny? The Nanny.
Yeah.
The Nanny is the one that also has the whole, it has the...
a little different. That's in the 90s. Sorry if that's our dog, where... We have multiple animals and they all hate each other for some reason.
They don't hate each other.
They do.
No, they don't.
And you were like, "Oh, it's so cute," and they're tearing each other's.
They are cute. It's just Cosmo playing with the cats. That's all it is.
Fine, but
Cosmo's our dog. We have 2 cats.
So this is closer to the 60s, 70s, and it's out of the studio.
Yes, it is out of the studio now, so it's definitely different from the first. But and there's I don't know. I mean, there's still laughter and stuff as
Laugh
if
track.
it is. Yeah, thank you. As if it is shot in front of a live studio audience, but it's not.
Well, so in the 60s and 70s, they started recording episodes and then playing it in front of an audience and getting the laugh track with them watching
off of that, okay.
instead of them actually.
And they kind of
being on set
overdo
every
it.
day.
They kind of overdo it in this ep. Did you see that? Like it was very.
It's
it was like literally back
this,
to back
this
to back.
era
It was just
of
a
TV
bunch of laughter, quote unquote.
Was filled with canned laughter. So at some point, they just started recording people laughing.
That's what I'm saying.
And did not show them the episode. They just threw it in whenever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell that they did that for sure. But like it's like overly done. It's like when Agnes shows up again and they're outside and it's just after every line of hers, it's just laugh track, laugh track, laugh track. And oh my gosh, are we just pushed into the stimulation.
Okay.
Oof, my God. I'm
I don't
sorry.
like that.
I was just like, whoa, we're just going to jump straight into it.
I mean,
get into it.
it seems like Wanda and Vision are visiting different realities or different simulations, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
And finding themselves new to these communities. And,
Yes,
and
of
trying
course.
to find their place. So it happens in the first one. And
Yeah.
then in the second one again. There is a very nice domestic storyline
Yes.
of them trying to join the neighborhood watch and
Vision.
and being a part of, I guess, the
It's just a
HOA
it's
for
just
the
a-
children.
Yeah, I don't know if it's
For the children.
I don't know if it's an HOA so much as just like
A
a
PTA.
weird. Yeah, it's
Some
just
kinda
a
A.
housewife
Yeah.
thing. But the housewives of the community or of the neighborhood street specifically, I guess. They for sure have like this meeting and this structure to where is her name Debbie?
Dottie.
Dottie, thank you. At the very top of the bunch, and it's up to Wanda to impress her
Yeah.
and get her okay. It kind of reminds me of that movie, Bad Moms. And with
Catherine Hahn.
Yeah, Catherine Hahn
She's
is
in
in
it,
that.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're
Agnes
right.
herself.
And Christina Applegate, I think,
Yeah.
is the
queen-
the
the
Dottie,
queen- the queen bee.
the queen bee. Oh,
Bee? Oh.
okay.
And I think there's still hijinks just like all other sitcoms.
If you know, you know.
And I think what's really special is the fact that they are trying to impress these folks and things
Yeah.
aren't going that way because they're not normal. They're
course.
not like us.
And then, of course, it has to be like quirky and like cute and whatever kind of
Yeah.
sitcom-y,
They
the
would love-
hijinks and stuff with their little behavior.
I gotta say, the thing that kind of throws a wrench into everything, including their well-rehearsed magic routine, is Vision getting drunk off of gum. A Big Red, which is probably product placement. I don't know. That
don't
happened a
know.
lot at the time, but
I don't know if it's product placement. Speaking of
hey,
product
now
placement.
he knows what it's like to take 5 gum. Remember those
right.
commercials?
Yeah.
Are those around anywhere?
Was it Experience 5 or
gum.
something?
I don't know.
It was
They would
weird.
take it and then they would get
they would
wild.
get crazy.
Shit, people
like
would be
freaking
like rolling down a slide
hardcore
filled
parkour
with
shit,
marbles
yeah.
or something. But yeah, it grinds his gears.
Oh my god!
You know what really grinds my
yes,
gears?
I get it. Okay.
But yeah, that's the fun part.
and speaking of product placement, can we talk about the commercial?
Let's do that.
Whoa,
We
that
did-
commercial. Okay, so the last step had a commercial about a toaster from Stark Industries.
Yep.
And I mentioned how Homegirl was weird in the last ep. So there's 2 representatives of each commercial, and it looks like they're going to be in every commercial now. It's a guy and a girl. I don't think they're given names actually. It's
Not
just,
yet.
It's just the people of the commercials. And Homegirl in the last one, or the woman in the last one, she spoke very weirdly and very monotone almost, and just really weird compared to
Yeah.
the rest of the sitcom. And then in this one, it's Homeboy trying on a suit and whatever. But the product is a watch, German watch, because it's from Hydra.
This is a Strucker commercial. Baron Wolfgang von Strucker. We actually meet a couple times in the MCU, and he is a part of Wanda and Quicksilver's, I guess,
Story.
formation, how they became who they are.
Right.
Now, what's really interesting is, well, there's a lot of speculation. I don't want to dive too deep because there's a lot of comic book imagery here. But there is a group of, they call them the Satan Seven. Okay.
Fun.
But they are some bad guys. There's also talk of
they're not
something
good.
called the House of
With
M.
a name like Satan 7, they're not good guys?
They're not good. But Strucker is a part of that. Now the thing with the Satan 7, the theory right now is all of the neighbors are a part of it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, now we also have Sword.
Oh, that could make sense.
And there's a ton of Sword in this. Now, Sword...
Now if you don't know that Sword's a part of it, then...
They're in it.
They're in it for sure, bruh.
Everywhere. We see Sword imagery, the actual Sword logo
in the notebook at the end of the
notebook
first one.
Of the first episode. We see it on the back of the beekeeper, which we'll talk about later here.
Also on the helicopter.
The helicopter that she finds.
Which we will also talk about here briefly.
There's so many little
many little swords
that are going to
everywhere.
be big things. But
we
now,
see there, and then so super quick. The house is also different. We're talking about the set and stuff
Yeah.
and how everything's hidden in the background.
And Westview, which is the town of the community, that is from the comic books. It's where they live in the 80s. So I feel like we're we're jumping to that era now.
Everything's tied together, isn't it?
Westview is a real, not a real place, but it's from the comic books for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay.
So let's go back to the watch.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because it also says Hydra on it, and it shows, what is the logo? Is it an octopus?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows an octopus on there too. And then, if you don't pick that up, then, we're telling you now.
Baron von Strucker, the creator, he's Hydra.
Yeah.
He's the guy that...
So it just makes sense.
Yeah. So we'll have to see what these commercials give us little hints of
everything.
Sinister things. And they're definitely connected. They're not just random...
Yeah, commercials.
Winks at other Marvel things.
But if you know Marvel and if you know Disney, then you should have the sense of everything's going to be connected somehow.
My birthday's coming up in 6 months. Maybe I want that watch. And I'll get you that toaster from the first episode.
Sure, I'll kill you. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm going to get a Strucker watch. How nice. And I kind of want a big red gum.
Yeah.
Something about watching this makes me want to buy everything that's in the show. Well, let's talk about kind of where Wanda is. At the end of this episode, Wanda seems to be able to rewind it. So she's in control in a weird way now. I know that, right?
See, and I figured that from the first ep, because like I said, she kind of controlled the situation with the boss choking.
Yeah.
Like she was the one that was like, okay, Vision, help him. Like she kind of let it go.
Yeah.
And in this one, also, we need to talk about what happened with the radio and with Dottie.
Yeah.
If we're talking about Dottie really quick. Like, that's like a huge giveaway that there's obviously something else going on. It's obviously I don't know if it's Sword or if it's actually someone from the Avengers campus or what, trying to get a hold of Wanda, and she's just straight up like, get out of here. Like,
well, the radio message is, who's doing this to you, Wanda, or what? But that's why it's kind of confusing, because Wanda seems to have some control, but also is a little bewildered by what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, okay, she knows she can control things, but
also
when the reality breaks,
confused.
She's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. Or maybe it's just a matter of her being confused that someone is able to reach her in her own stimulation.
That beekeeper. The
beekeeper. The beekeepies.
The beekeepies. That's what I call them.
The beekeeper.
The beekeeper, she seems to kind of understand that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, so there is a moment where it kind of, again, breaks reality. It's towards the end, or right at the end. And first of all, Wanda is, spoiler alert, all of this is a spoiler. We should have started with that.
We're kind of jumping around, but this is good.
Yeah, sorry. Because again, we literally just watched it, so we're kind of recapping out loud
and
with
also,
you guys.
While we're jumping around, spoilers.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, whoa.
Watch yourself.
You fucked. You burned.
Sorry.
But the beak obviously has no context at all.
No, Wanda and Vision kind of go outside, and Wanda's also pregnant.
Yeah.
BT dubs. Sorry.
Another thing we'll have to get back to.
Sorry. But they go outside, and a manhole cover is being moved around, and what pops out but a beekeeper
with a sword logo on his back.
With a sword logo on his back, and he's in full full beekeeper's outfit, like uniform, whatever, and there's bees surrounding him. And Wanda and Vision hides behind Wanda. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He kind of grabbed her and was like, Wanda, like, what's going on? And then she was like, nah. Like, she just was like,
rewind.
Fuck no. Yeah.
It's like she's Adam Sandler in the movie Click.
Oh my God, boo. Don't do that. Don't compare Click to this.
Remember when he goes to Bed Bath Beyond and buys the Beyond section remote?
Yes. So
spoiler for Click. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, everyone.
But yeah, so she straight up says no.
Wait a minute. Okay,
and then the whole thing literally rewinds, and it goes back to her revealing that she's pregnant or finding out that she's pregnant with a happier ending.
Now that we're talking about Click.
The remote.
The remote's
back. The whole living room.
Adam Sandler, maybe that's what she has, is Adam Sandler's remote, legit.
And they're tied together.
They're tied because they're always...
Is that a DreamWorks movie or is that a Fox movie? Because if it's a Fox movie, then it would make more sense because Disney owns Fox now.
MCU, the Marvel Click universe. MCU. Coincidence?
The C is for Click now.
Wow. Well, the other thing with it seems like someone is trying, this is my theory, this is not proven, but it seems like someone's trying to reach her through the radio, trying to break into the reality or whatever the sword thing is that she's in. What if that beekeeper isn't actually a part of SWORD, just someone trying to break into her reality?
Well, yeah.
There are no bees in the sewer.
Yeah.
It's not like we reference Truman Show a lot, but it's not like in Truman Show where he sees like a maintenance worker and it's like, oh shit, like you caught me. Yeah, it'll be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, I guess, her pregnancy.
Okay.
This whole episode, we see that the PTA or whatever the group is doing everything for the children.
Yes, because
it's for
Westview Elementary School. They're putting on a talent show,
and now here we are.
That's the whole premise of the show is that, not the premise, but that's the whole theme of the show is that Wanda and Vision are participating in this talent show to feel normal.
Everyone says for the children, like a cult.
Literally
20
in unison, for the children,
and literally at the end of it. It's for her.
It's for
baby.
Wanda's baby. She becomes a baby mama.
Baby mama. Just another statistic.
Oh my god.
But what? What did you think about the talent show? What did you think about that whole sequence?
Talent show scene was fun. Vision. Drunk Vision is a good time, man. You know, he's real cool.
He's just loose and goose.
He's just the coolest. But I will say, super quick, I don't understand why he had to be drunk. I guess so Wanda can use her powers and make a funny little scenario.
That's truly the comedy.
That was weird.
It's the comedy of him, and we knew this because the setup for this was the very first scene where he was saying, "Well, we can't use real magic."
Oh, you're right.
Or she says we can't use real magic, and here he is on stage using real magic,
right?
And the odd thing is Wanda has to use her own real magic to make it seem like
to counter
magic.
Everything. Yeah,
and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah, it was cute.
It does culminate in a Cabinet of Wonders type scenario where they zap a new character, a really, really important character, into the
Cabinet of Wonders.
Into the Cabinet of Wonders,
and also she's very pretty. Her name is Geraldine.
And we've met her before.
Is she? Oh,
we have met her before in the MCU.
You know what she looked? What, her character? Or
her character, not the actress.
Okay, because I was like, she looked like someone from. But you know what? I think she looked like someone from. Is it Us? No. What's the one before Us?
They've already confirmed that her character is Tiona Paris.
Get out. That's what I was thinking about. Get out.
Tiona Paris, and she is the grown-up little girl from Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Now, what she's doing in WandaVision, we're trying to understand that.
Along with everything else.
Yeah. Even the name Cabinet of Wonders is actually from Doctor Strange.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that insane? And then there's also there's a Infinity Stone on the cabinet. There's a lot of Infinity Stone everywhere.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. There's a whole lot of Easter eggs in this that reference the original comic books as well. Illusion and Glamour. The names, their magician names, those are characters in the comic books.
Very cool.
There are a lot of numbers everywhere.
Yeah, they live on 2800.
Yep.
It's on their mailbox.
Which is and this is why this is going to be so nerdy.
Say it, I love it.
But in the Marvel universe right now, there's a main Earth dimension, 616, in the comic books. The MCU is in a dimension, Earth 2800.
Nice.
So it is going to be, it seems like we're obviously headed to multiverse with Doctor Strange.
Oh, for sure.
There will be different designations for the Fantastic Four, for the X-Men. But yeah, things are definitely crossing because, I mean, Geraldine is a character from Captain Marvel.
Fun fact, when I was in middle school, one of my best friends was named Geraldine.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, she was one of my very first friends. She is so sweet. I don't remember her last name.
Wow.
But we were in choir together, and oh my God, I loved her. She was so sweet. She had little freckles, and she had like curly, thick hair.
Shout out to you, Geraldine.
I love her. Hey, Geraldine. I don't know where you are. I don't know how you are, but I hope you're okay.
She's trapped in in
the Cabinet of Wonders
simulation. I want to talk about something that's really big. There's obviously the radio moment where Dottie, bleeds in color.
And so does the helicopter. We were going to talk about the helicopter. Okay, so they're at the beginning of this episode, they hear some thumping going on with their window at night, and it freaks them out.
And by the way, they sleep like we sleep at two separate
beds, far away from each other, 6 feet apart. And so they go and check on it, but they assume that it's just, or I say they, but Wanda, of course, the woman, goes and saves the man. And she checks on the window, and it's just the tree, or so they thought. But I thought it was weird. Did you see her kind of look over her shoulder back at the tree, like wondering, like, is that what hit my window? Because the next morning she goes outside, and in her bushes,
it's a helicopter.
There is a helicopter with a sword logo on it.
Do you think she is actually, that's a real life helicopter in the real world, and she's like just fucking shit up, or someone's trying to get in? It's kind of weird.
I think it could be.
It's in color too.
I think it was definitely sent there by sword. I think the shape of it, like it actually being
real.
It actually being a helicopter. I think that it was supposed to jolt her memory, and it was supposed to be like a wake up call for her, and that's kind of what it did, because she looked at it and she kind of looked at it in like a. Not like also a confused way, but like as if it reminded her of something that happened before. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was definitely there for a reason, and obviously because it was in color and everything else was in black and white.
I'm really interested to know whether or not we're going to see a lot of hints of the outside world, and maybe I wouldn't be surprised if later on we find out that helicopters are trying to reach her, and for her it's just like a trivial little toy, but those are actually a giant effort to try to find her or something like that.
Right.
There's two things that you brought up that kind of just jogged some things in my mind. I know there's a lot of correlations with Bewitched in this. Bewitched was actually the first sitcom where the two main characters sleep in the same bed.
Really?
Because it used to be against the FCC. Like, you couldn't show, for some odd reason, two husband and wife in the same bed. And in this, Wanda pulls their beds together, a la Bewitched, which was a record-breaking thing.
Cute.
And then you brought up like this dynamic, because obviously I feel Vision's really dead in real life. But you brought this up with the beekeeper, and then again in the middle of the night when the episode started, he is just a part of her narrative. She's definitely running the show.
For sure.
He's not real. I don't know. That's how I feel.
100%. And that's what I'm getting at. Like it's really all Wanda. It's not going to be Vision, because it literally cannot. Like if you think about it in the whole context, like there literally is no Vision. So it's all in her mind.
You can't really understate how powerful Wanda is. I
don't understand. She is so underrated.
Ultron, Civil War, her powers, she
literally saves everybody multiple times. Like also, even in Endgame, like when she shows up, it's such a big fucking deal. Like she kicks ass. She is so underrated, and I hate it so much because I like people just forget about her all the time. But she's literally one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Like I love her more than I love. I'm so sorry, ScarJo, but more than I love Black Widow. Like it's always been Wanda. Bro.
She's
always
also
Scarlet.
One of the most conflicted because she can't control her powers. She saves everyone, but she's the cause of so much accidental death and destruction that we've already seen in the MCU to cause her to kind of go into seclusion.
Reminds me a lot of X-Men.
To stop doing, kind of like a lot of characters in X-Men. And I mean, in a deep depression like this, and if the helicopter is real, she could be causing so much destruction right now. But she just doesn't know.
And that's why her and Vision are so perfect for each other, because he's kind of the same way. Not that he can't.
Hey, kind of like me and you, right, baby? You're always out there causing so much destruction, and I have to kind of reel you in. Kind of have to grab your hand and be like, hey, it's okay. Put down the
knife.
Ooh, this is getting dark. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's really tearing something up and outside.
Also, I want to talk about Dottie for a second. Again.
Dottie!
Just because we just briefly went over the radio thing. But also, I want to just talk about that whole interaction. Because Dottie, I don't know if Dottie and these characters are trying to probe her or if they are part of Wanda's subconscious or part of her powers and simulation that she's causing herself. But this is, again, people, because in the first episode, the Harts, the couple, ask her and Vision, like, well, where'd you come from? Who are you? Like,
and Mrs.
what's
Hart
your story?
Mrs. Hart is back in this one too for a little bit.
Yeah. And like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? And again, the same questions from Dottie, because Dottie was, or is it Dottie? Yeah. Dottie, the queen bee of the neighborhood, was like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, again, right when the simulation broke. I keep saying stimulation, but it's simulation. I'm so sorry, everybody.
That reminds me of a joke that's in this episode about formastication.
Oh, yeah, that was funny.
And he's like, I don't do that. Hey, listeners, I do that.
Yeah,
I formasticate all day long.
Shut up.
I'm a formasticator.
Stop it. Okay, but yeah, no, Dottie again was like, who are you? What are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. And then that's when the whole simulation broke. And Dottie for a second was like, oh my gosh. And she she breaks character and literally breaks a glass in her hand.
Dottie also, the reason why the stimulation breaks, Dottie says she knows
simulation. You said stimulation too. I understand. Yes,
but Dottie tells Wanda that she knows something about the two of them. And that's Vision, when she's like, oh, but yeah, there is kind of an interesting thing of how much the people know, because Geraldine's not sure. I'm not sure if Catherine Hahn, Agnes's character, I don't know how much she knows.
She's in plaid again. Did you see that?
She's in plaid again.
There's think that it's part of her uniform. And then did you the joke with the mailman? I was going to talk about this. Thank you for reminding me. Did you hear her joke? So Agnes joking. So whenever she's talking to Wanda in the rose bushes or in the bushes literally right after Wanda finds the helicopter, super sus. Agnes shows up and's like, oh, how are you doing? And Wanda goes inside because Agnes gives her like a bunny or whatever for her magic show. Yeah. She goes inside to put the bunny away, and then a mailman comes up out of nowhere, and for some reason Agnes has an interaction with him, obviously because it's gonna. What if he's a beekeeper?
There's something really interesting, because I'm sure we're going to see that mailman again. I'm sure we're going to see the beekeeper again. I think
we saw him in the first episode. I feel like he was in The Office.
Oh, it is we do see a lot of the same characters and actors.
Yeah, well, actors.
Yeah, for sure.
Not characters, actors. But Agnes jokes towards him, and she's like, oh, bang, bang. And she like pretends to shoot him, but like in a joking way. Yeah. And I was like, well, that's really weird. Instead of saying like, hi, how are you? How's your day? Blah, blah, which she does, but she's like, stick him up or something like that. And she jokes with him, and then he like puts his hands in the air.
These are all real people, but Wanda is forcing them to play a part in her.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that they're supposed to represent. That's supposed to represent some sort of fight sequence, or like
forcing them
actual standoff between them. And also, Agnes is in like the same patterned clothing, so it's again with the dark plaid. So I feel like that has something to do with her uniform in the real life. Well, and the next episode, if Agnes is wearing something plaid, then I'm super sus.
Well, there is definitely we've gone full Pleasantville now, because it ends not only with her being with child, but it's in color. Color.
And I was waiting. I think I mentioned this in the last episode. I was waiting for the transition sequence. Like, I wanted to see how they were going to mesh the two, and I'm so happy and pleased with the way that they did it.
And I'm sure we're going to be
so pretty.
New era, 70s, 80s, all in the family. I think it's going to
be 70s, 80s, yeah. Definitely 70s.
The Jeffersons, some of the best in the 80s, I think.
We're going to get to a Golden Girls era? Golden Girls era?
I mean, we do know there is an Office style episode, found footage. We know that, so we'll have to see exactly. And then
it's going to be exciting. We're only 2 eps in, and there's like what, 9, 10 total? 9?
There is an Easter egg I want to talk about. Grim Reaper. There's in the cartoon sequences, they do have the Grim Reaper's helmet there. The Grim Reaper is a character in the comic books who is a really big deal. So it's kind of crazy that
I didn't see that.
Well, I'll show you. I'll show you in a bit.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot too. And again, we're gonna find out by the next episode, exactly what's going on. But any other big things you want to talk about with this episode?
I think I can't think of any right now, just because we've talked about so much already. And so sorry that we've been jumping around so much. We're just really excited.
Call us little rabbits, because we're jumping.
Yeah, we're just jumping around.
Little baby bunnies.
I have to rewatch it. Obviously, the more you watch it, the more you see in the background and stuff. And I'm just surprised that it just went to a huge. Oh, I do want to talk about the Beach Boys song. Friggin' love.
Yeah.
Love that placement.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Help me.
Friggin' Chef's Kiss. Yeah, it's Help Me Rhonda, but it sounds like they warped it to say Help Me Wanda.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like, I was so happy with it. See, that's the kind of shit in the glitches in the simulation that I was looking for. Like, give me more of that.
Yeah.
Give me it.
There is, I think it's really clever, and they're doing a really good job of melding these very recognizable TV traits from these eras and the Marvel portion.
Yeah, the Marvel current type
Marvel amount of honestly kind of complicated plot. But that is
not kind of complicated, extremely complicated, because you not only have to tie the series to the one storyline of Wanda and Vision, you have to tie it to everything leading up to Endgame, like all of, because they're in multiple movies, and it's I don't want to get into this again because
this is leading up to something insane. I'm really excited about it. I am also really interested in all of these. Sword is kind of a brand new organization to introduce us to, and
to introduce us to in depth.
And we know Loki has his own time travel.
Going on at the same time.
The Watchers are doing the What If. So this is expanding quite quickly. But I'm excited for the next episode that we'll talk about when it comes out for watching WandaVision weekly Wednesdays or whatever we're calling it. The Wow Wow Wubsy. But that's it for this ep. Sophia, what do you have to plug?
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. My head is just spinning right now. So much stuff. Just thank you so much for listening to all the pods as always. And if you like us so much, then you can go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon. It's patreon.com/delphinpod, DELFINPOD. And then also listen to all the other shows. They're pretty cool too, I guess.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Right. I'm just kidding. No, they're really good. They're funny.
To the Countdown Strikes Back. There's the Babu's Book Club happening at the start of February.
Hey.
Okay, that's him here now. And then of course, Dirt Sheet Radio, Director Showdown, all of the other things that we have. But definitely go to patreon.com/DelphinPod. Support the podcast and listen to all of the exclusive content that we have there as well. And then and subscribe, rate us, do all of that stuff. We've been around for a while now.
If you have free time, go for it.
Yeah. We hope you're enjoying. Oh my gosh, we're so lucky to have new Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
We hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's a hoot.
It's a hoot and a holler.
It's a hoot and a holler.
So are we gonna stick to watching Wanda's weekly or triple W?
Just watching Wanda.
WWW?
No, we're not gonna do
Double W.
World Wide Web.
Triple W.
Here's what we'll do. We'll think of more words that start with W. So next week, you're gonna hear. You're gonna hear a lot of them. Okay. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
WandaVision.